On January 28th, I uploaded a video showcasing my best catches from my first year of railfanning. And after doing that, I figured why don't I upload another video showcasing some of my worst catches. So that's what this video is. It's a pretty short one. I don't have a ton of catches that I really classify as bad, but I've got enough to make a full video out of it, and I don't know if it'll be enjoyable to watch or if it'll just be, I don't know, but I'm uploading the video regardless, so you might enjoy it, I don't know. The first catch took place on the first day I officially consider myself a rail fan. A BNSF grader was lining up to leave, and my friend and I went to watch it. Thing is, it was well past dark, and we chose probably the worst possible location to watch it, where there was virtually no light.
Hell yeah. 866597.
The next time we saw a train in town was February 12th. This one started lining up well before dark, but it didn't leave until the following day, and we really didn't get very good shots. That first clip was taken as I was going to pick up my friend. After he joined me, we watched him spend a load of time swapping around the two units, presumably because the crew didn't want to listen to the spitter valve on 3956 for the entire trip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it failed. It did a couple. Interesting.
After coupling the two units together, they switched tracks again and went to connect to the first cut of cars. And that concludes this catch, since night fell and the train didn't leave until the following day. This next catch is from Minot on March 1st of last year. We'd been sitting at the location of the old Roosevelt Park footbridge, waiting for BNSF, when we spotted this CPKC and chased it down. We didn't quite get far enough ahead, unfortunately. To make this catch worse, I didn't even record the end of the train. Later that day came this CPKC train, and I'm actually rather fond of this catch, but it's by no means a particularly good one. The lighting is poor, and the camera work isn't the best. Also, there's a bunch of obstruction between the camera and the train. Only about a week after the last train, I recorded the tail end of this one leaving the Patterson elevator south of Botto. This shot was not only backlit, but also had taken a max zoom on my old phone, which didn't have a very good zoom on video. And of course, the head end was long gone by the time I got there. The very first time I rail fanned the Amtrak Empire Builder was in Rugby, North Dakota, in the early morning of April 18th, 2025. The sun was directly opposite me, making one of the most horrid backlit shots I have ever gotten. Also, my friend was photobombing. The departure was alright, but still rather backlit. Next up is this grainer that arrived in town the next day. The departure of this train was included in my best catches video, but the arrival leaves a lot to be desired. It was very early morning, so there wasn't a lot of light, and therefore the phone struggled to get a decent image. This one was taken by the window of a building near the tracks. It was the first time I had ever seen a Cascade Green locomotive, and I included it in this list purely because I really fumbled this and didn't go watch it. A very similar thing happened here. This was the first war bonnet I can remember seeing, and it was leading the train, but I stupidly didn't go and watch it. Here's another bad catch of BNSF 705. It was leading a grain train out of Minot, but the lighting was rubbish. On a trip in June, I visited Cheyenne, Wyoming. This was the only train I saw the entire time, and it wasn't even a particularly good catch, since the lead locomotive was already under the bridge by the time I was able to record. Back on home rails once again, I present to you this horrendously backlit train, which had a track geometry car following it.
That's a BNSF car.
I took this video for the sole purpose of testing my new phone's night video capabilities. It's much better than my old one, but still doesn't turn out stellar videos. Now for one of the most disappointing low-light fails I've ever had. A Canadian Pacific Heritage SD70 ACU leading an eastbound through the Diamond in Minot. There was just enough light to make out what the locomotive is, but it really sucks that there hadn't been more light for this. What's worse than catching a CP Heritage unit in poor lighting? Catching a KCS Special Interest unit with almost no light. This train had Kansas City Southern 7009 trailing the leader, but you can barely tell what the locomotive is because it was well past nightfall.